Hi everyone, Gary Spolansky here with The Power Is You. Thanks again for joining my podcast. Today I'd like to talk to you about fear. Now, we all have fear. We know this. I do, you do. We all fear things, some that are real, some are imagined, some come from long, long ago. But the focus that I have today is something I've been working on in my practice for many, many years. I've shared it with clients and at workshops and other programs. And it's the idea that our minds control the suppressing or expressing of emotion. Consequently, even if we're not aware of it, when we get afraid, when we're holding on to things, a lot of times we want to let go, but we don't know how. And the reason we don't know how is because we're so used to thinking. We don't stop to consider that the body is separate from the mind. Now, I know that's an unusual concept, but what I mean by that is our minds think in a dualistic manner, whereas our bodies think in a unified manner. Being more specific than that, the mind thinks dualistically, as I said, but the heart thinks in unity. And when you get the mind out of the way, you can actually release emotions, fears, anxieties, uncertainties much more readily, much more easily. And here's the concept. I say that the mind is in the way. And in the martial arts, there's a principle. And it talks about how no matter how well trained you are, no matter how fast, how capable you are, there's always going to be somebody who's bigger, stronger, faster than you are. Consequently, you never go against your opponent's strength. Rather, you flow with it. So the concept that I have today that I want to share with you is the idea that if you allow the feelings that are inside you to come up, they can release more readily than if you suppress them. And the problem with suppressing them is twofold. One, that they sit there and they fester and they can cause illness if held for long enough. But much more importantly, the more that they're suppressed, the more that when they are finally triggered and allowed to release, they come out really powerfully, sometimes in very inappropriate times and ways. So the suggestion that I have for you today is to work with the energy of fear, the energy of I'm not happy with how I feel. And the way I would do this is simple. As a metaphysical healer, let's say that 3 times fast. As a metaphysical healer, as a shaman, I've learned how to get the mind out of the way to let the body release. And this is a very, very simplistic approach, but it works. What I'd like you to consider is that when you feel I'm either angry or fearful or caught up in something and I can't get out of it, use the concept of the higher self. Now, the higher self is that part of you that's greater, grander, more aware, sees the big picture that you can't. It's always with you 24/7, and it's saying, when you tell me you're ready, I will help you. And the reason it says that is because when, well, basically, it needs your permission to act. You can't just expect it to act because it's wiser. It understands why things are happening to you. Consequently, if you say something like this, okay, higher self, I get it. Higher self, help me release this fear I've been holding on to as it serves the highest good. And you use that phrase, as it serves the highest good, because that gives permission on a spiritual level for the higher self to go past your free will and bring in the tools, the energies, the frequencies necessary to help you clear. So when that happens, and you say, higher self, help me release this as it serves the highest good, and then as best you can, let go. Stop thinking about it. You will see, to varying degrees, that the energies will release. If it's something simple, a simple fear, anxiety, what have you, it may move much faster than you might imagine. Just the same if it's complex, if it's involved, if it's heavy. It may take many efforts, and truthfully, if you are dealing with some heavy stuff, you're best advised to work with a qualified healer or professional such as myself who can guide you, support you, and help you feel safe in the process. Okay? So, all you do is you think of, what am I holding on to? I'm holding on to that feeling that people don't like me. Now, I don't know why they say things about me, but it's not true. And I just don't like the feeling. So, you know what? Higher self, help me let go of the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences that tell me I'm not good enough. Okay? And then imagine it being lifted off of you, and poof, it'll start releasing. The more frequently you do it, the better you'll be. And the happier you'll feel. So, that's what I have for you this time. And if you do try this, if you have a success or have a question, email me at gary@thepowerisyou.com. I'll be happy to take your comments and answer your questions as I can. Okay? And in the meantime, until our next episode, always remember, the power is you.